who the head of Hell's Angels is. He was able to register his handguns, and he just mocked the whole system when they brought him in to court, you know, as an exhibit, and he just said, well, did you bring the registration certificates as well? I mean, it doesn't make any difference if you have a piece of paper beside the gun as to what you do with it. I mean, we have to punish the crime and the criminal, not the law-abiding citizen. And I think a lot of people in the cities don't realize this. They don't realize how useful a tool this is to people in certain areas. And you mentioned the Outdoors Caucus. There are groups right now that can raise a lot of money in Europe, come over to Canada, and start limiting our ability to hunt and fish. And they really are going after fishermen right now. And there's 5 million of them in this country who are oblivious to the fact that they are trying to shut down fishing. According to them, a vertebrate should not be subject to a fish hook. I mean, it's almost absurd how these, what we call heritage outdoors activities, are being threatened. And so I organized this caucus, and it's not a party thing, it's an all-party thing. I mean, these issues are not partisan in any way. They're not liberal, they're not conservative. So I think many people don't know how important the Outdoors Caucus is, because we have to review all legislation here. And every province should do the same thing to make sure that our ability to pursue these traditional activities is not curtailed in any way. I think we have to push back, and if we don't push back in an organized way, they will run over us, and in some sense they've been somewhat successful already. So I think the Outdoors Caucus may be a more important thing for us now than some of the other things like the gun registry. It's important to get rid of the gun registry. It's a complete waste of money. One thing I should have mentioned is we spent over $1 billion, and we've only got 1/3 of the guns registered. There's about 7 million guns registered, and some people are saying, well, let's continue with it and let's fix it and clean it up so that it's useful to the police, because right now I don't know of any frontline policeman trusts any of the information in there. I mean, he takes his life in his hands, and there's examples of policemen who have been really hurt severely because they've trusted the information there. So to clean it up, we'd have to go and find all those other guns, register them, and then you've still only got a piece of paper beside the gun. Yeah. You know, like it doesn't in any way, you know, improve the efficiency or the effectiveness, I should say, of the gun registry.
Well, I agree with you, and what's interesting as well, when you mentioned the European, you know, kind of involvement, if you will, in these issues, the seal hunt, you know, is a great example of that.
Exactly.
Here's a question for you, because there's myths, you know, that people propagate about guns, right? Have government restrictions on firearms resulted in lower crime rates? And where governments ban guns, like in places like Washington, D.C., does crime go away?
No. Washington, D.C. probably has the most strict gun control, I use that term loosely, gun control laws in all of North America, and they have the highest crime rate involving firearms. These laws do not affect the criminal or crime. You take New York City, and a previous mayor, well known to most people, started targeting what we would call minor crimes.
This is Rudolph Giuliani is
yes, exactly. And he started putting a few more policemen on key corners, and crime went down. He didn't have to change the gun laws. He didn't have to do anything like that. Simply the presence of a police officer there was enough to start reducing these, what we call minor crimes. And the surprising thing is violent crime went down. And so we have to ask ourselves, what's the best way to use scarce taxpayers' dollars? It's not on a paper-pushing exercise with bureaucrats sitting behind their desks.
Police officers.
And for $1 billion, you could put over 5,000 more police on the street, according to the Attorney General of Ontario. So that, to me, is the way we should go. Now, you'll have some police say, well, you know, we contact the gun registry 10,000 times a day. That is an absurd claim. Do you know that every time a policeman stops or apprehends anybody, let's say a parking ticket, or you're caught speeding, he types in your license number, it automatically counts as a hit to the gun registry, and the policeman doing it doesn't even know